Hi, this is Mrs. Bustamante. I just wanted to walk us through problem number 10 on the after spring break roof brush worksheet. It's probably the most challenging problem on there, so I thought it would be the best one to work through. I'm going to do this in at least 2 videos. This video, we're just going to talk about how I set up the problem in order to solve it. So it says chlorine can replace bromine in bromide compounds, forming a chloride compound and elemental bromine. The following reaction is an example of this reaction. We have potassium bromide plus chlorine react to form potassium chloride and bromine. Part A says when 2.65 grams of chlorine and 1.28 grams of potassium bromide are mixed in a solution, which is the limiting reactant, how many grams of each product are formed, and then how much excess reactant is left over. So the first thing you need to do in this problem is the compounds are written for you. That means the charges on them are balanced, but you need to go ahead and balance the chemical equation, and that's where you take your atom inventory. Make sure you have 2 potassiums here as reactants, 2 as products. Same with bromine and same with chlorine. That's where you add the coefficients in front. So that's why those have the coefficients there. Then I just like to organize my thoughts. What am I trying to find and what did they give me? So they gave me in the problem that I start with 2.65 grams of chlorine and 1.28 grams of potassium bromide. And I want to change it. They want to know how many grams of each product are formed. And because they actually ask for each product, that means I have to find out how much potassium chloride is formed and how much bromine is formed, which is different than a lot of the other problems we've done. But it just gives us some more practice. So that means I'm going from mass because I'm starting in grams. I'm going to end in mass too because I'm going to end in grams. And then the other thing I like to prepare before I start my problem is I like to write down all the molar masses of everything I'm going to need, so I don't have to worry about that part when I'm solving the problem. So chlorine, there's 2 atoms of chlorine because of this, and the mass of chlorine from your periodic table is 35.5 grams. That means your molar mass of chlorine is 71 grams per mole. I did the same thing for all the other compounds using my periodic table. The mass comes from the periodic table, and the number in front that you multiply comes from the subscripts down low. And remember, that's grams per mole. So now I have everything I need written on my paper, and I wrote down that in part A and part B, I'm looking for the limiting reactant, which means I'm looking for how much of these 2 things I make and which one makes less.